Hi everyone, welcome to another week of Facebook Live with Kimba, and I'm just so glad that you're here. And we are going to have another hour of fun and a lot of learning. So let's get started. As always, hi Chris, how are you? As always, we are going to start off the evening with what I call in my lingo dashboard items, because I think that's always important that we follow up on what we learned from last week and what we're learning this week. So I am going to start off with questions because I think that's really important. The first question, hi Rachel, how are you? The first question I have is from Kyle P. in Maryland, and he asks, what is the difference between, sorry, can you hear me now? Okay, hi Virginia, hi Chris. Sorry about that, I was just adjusting my volume. So just to recap, I'm going to go over some dashboard items, and I always start off every segment with questions because I think that's really important. First question is from Kyle in Maryland. Hi, Kyle. He asks, what's the difference between angel tarot and tarot itself? Basically, angel oracles or angel tarot is basically angel cards that are geared towards angels themselves. So a lot of the cards in the oracle deck itself will be angel oriented or have angels on the individual cards themselves. So that's pretty much what an angel oracle is about. Tarot itself is a deck that has positive and negative cards. And certain cards, as I've said, when they're thrown together, can predict death, divorce, separation, illness. Tarot itself can be a heavy deck, but it can predict a lot of wonderful things as well. So angel oracles are mostly about angels and angels that are around you. Tarot is more about prediction. Just a quick synopsis. So Kyle, I hope that answered your question. Let me just stop for a second. Hi, Virginia. Hi, Chris, Bertha, Sasha, Shelly, Amber, Deborah, Bertha. I'm going to scroll down here. Amber and Deborah again. I'm so glad you joined. Thanks so much. The second question I have is from Arlene K. in Alabama, and she asks, what is the difference between a medium and a psychic? All good questions. Basically, in its simplest form, a medium is a person who can connect with a client that they're reading, their loved ones. So in other words, if I was reading you, I could sit and connect with those that have passed on that were related to you and or friends of yours that have crossed over, and sometimes pets too. That's basically a medium in its simplest form. A psychic, on the other hand, is someone who has very intuitive abilities, who can read a client's past, present, and future. So they're very different. One is, if I were to, I guess, stereotype, a psychic is more of a fortune, not fortune teller, but someone who can predict the future and see into the past of a person's life, whereas a medium can see the angels and people that were in your life that have crossed over and deliver messages. So that's pretty much the difference between a medium and a psychic. All mediums are psychics. Not all psychics are mediums. So, little tidbit of information. Everyone who's born, every earth person, every earth angel, as I call them, are either a psychic or a medium. It's up to you to determine what you are. We're all born with that gift. So very good question, Arlene. And my third question comes from Henry M. in Missouri. He asks, what is my favorite number? My favorite number is the number 3, and I have it tattooed behind my ear. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that kind of came back from, oh God, my days of being a nurse. We would have 3 really good days, 3 really hellish days, 3 admissions, 3 discharges, 3 deaths, 3 crazy patients. So my life just kind of goes in patterns of 3s. So 3 is my favorite number. So Henry, that was a really good question, but 3 is my favorite number. All good questions. If you would like a question read on one of my podcasts, please feel free to direct message me and I'll be happy to read it. And if it has anything to do with mediumship and or psychic questions, please, by all means, feel free to ask. Let me just stop a second and say hello to more people. Hi, Amber and Deborah and Bertha. And let's see who else is here. Carrie and Susan. Hello, Virginia, Linda, Susan again, Sandra, Rachel, Carol. Hi, Jen. Hi, Deborah, Virginia, Angela. Thank you so much for everyone for joining. Dashboard items. We always start off with that. So let's talk about August. How's this month been treating you? As we've talked, August 1st was the new moon, and we've often talked about energies. So with any new moon, we cast our intentions to the universe. We basically set goals in its most simplest form. So August 1st was basically the new moon, and that's when we basically set our goals, our intentions to the universe. How did that work for you? Today is the 15th, so it's a full moon. So when the moon is full, we basically sit back and reevaluate and contemplate, did our goals come to fruition? Did they produce the results that we were looking for? So I want you to think about that tonight, because tonight is the full moon, and think about, did your goals for this month come to pass? If they didn't, don't lose faith. Sometimes they have to be retweaked. Sometimes the universe needs you to be more clear. And that leads me into my next thing. And you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring up my little flag. The universe wants us to be crystal clear, because the universe wants to hear what we have to say. So I want you to stop saying these 7 things immediately. Stop saying, I wish, I want, I could, I hope, I try, I need, I desire. Why? It's passive and open-ended. The universe wants to hear exactly what you want. I choose or I choose not. Why? Because it's crystal clear and there's no freaking wiggle room, okay? So when you think about people, be crystal clear. I choose to invest in this person, this relationship, this friendship, this numbnut, or I choose not to. It's that simple. So get rid of I wish, I want, I could, I would, I should. It's just that simple. Okay? You with me so far? Good. Couple of other dashboard items. My 2 little favorite psychic fairs. First one that's coming up first is our Phoenixville Psychic Fair. I'll pull back a little bit. Is September 7th. This is where you want to come, and I'll kind of tone down my light because I apologize for the glare. If you want to be anywhere where there's psychics, tea leaf readings, crystal ball readings, palm readings. I understand they're also going to be doing flower readings where they take a flower and pull it apart and do readings of you from the flower. This is where you want to be. September 7th from 10 to 5, Main and Bridge Streets in Phoenixville. I will have my own booth. If you don't want to get read, at least stop by and say hi. I'd love to see you. That's September 7th, first Saturday in September. The second one is October 6th. Sorry about the glare. 9 to 5. This is right here in Media, Pennsylvania. It's on State Street. I'll have my own booth. This is more of a food and arts and crafts fair. I'll have my own booth. I'll be doing angel readings and tarot readings. Stop by and see me. This, I believe, is also the first Saturday in October. So a couple of just dashboard items. Now, we have talked, and I've said this, and I'm going to keep saying this because I believe a true medium, psychic, will tell you it's not a secret. And it shouldn't be. We all have the gift. I've given you some homework. I've given you some lessons, some things that you can do to practice on your own. I'm going to give you another thing tonight. we talked about, I apologize, I have such a dry throat. So if I take a couple drinks, you take drinks too, okay? Because it's so humid. We talked about keeping a notebook by your bedside. So when you wake up in the mornings, you make 3 predictions right off the cuff. Doesn't matter what you predict. Could be your supervisor's wearing a red shirt. Could be you're coming home at 5:55 today. Your coworker is going to eat an egg salad sandwich. You get the idea. When you go to bed that night, you check those 3 things. What came true? You do this every day. Keep doing it week after week after week and develop that psychic muscle. You might not see any checks the first week or couple weeks. How are you doing with this? Give me some feedback. I want some meat. We talked about getting a partner and holding hands and saying, I'm transferring you a number, only 1 to 10. Is that working for you? Are you mentally telepathy passing the numbers back and forth? Okay, is that working? That was the second thing we talked about. We also talked about getting a little more creative, taking shapes and cutting them out and putting them in an envelope that is like a privacy envelope, and taking one shape, like a square, putting it in the envelope and giving it to your partner. They have to hold the envelope like this and then try to guess what's in the envelope. What is the shape? Do I feel a circle? Do I feel a triangle? Is that working for you? Tonight, I want to talk to you about something else. So we're going to expand. There is a type of a thing in the mediumship psychic world called psychometry. And basically, it's when you touch or hold an object and you can actually feel the vibes, the energy. As I've told you, everything is energy. In nursing, we do Reiki on patients. As I mentioned, Reiki is where you put energy back into a person. Bioenergy is when we take energy or we clear the chakras. See I'm getting my right and my left backwards. My chakra flag right over here behind me. Bioenergy is when we clear those 7 chakras, okay? So basically, since everything is energy, psychometry is when you basically read the energy off of an object. Metal objects work the best. So again, you're going to need a partner. And what I want you to do is grab a partner, and this could be the same partner you've been working with, and I want you to find an object that they don't know anything about the history, okay? So let's pretend you're my partner. And I have pulled this. You might not know the history behind this, okay? And I've suddenly placed this in your hands. And you're allowed to touch it, you're allowed to feel it, and you're allowed to hold it. And while you're holding it, start to write down. What does it feel like? Does this feel like a male energy, a female energy? Does it feel like the person died who had this? Does it feel like they're still living? Does it feel like this goes back to the 1950s? Start writing down whatever comes to your mind, okay? And then, after you've written down whatever impressions come to you, then read your card to your partner and have them validate for you what you're right on and what you're not right on. And it's going to be hit or miss. The more you practice, the better you're going to become. Now, I'm going to ask you a quick question. What did you feel in looking at this? I'm going to scroll down to see who's brave enough to answer me. I'm going to see who's brave enough. Nobody. Okay. I'll give you some hints. This was actually my dad's. This was his pill container. My dad had this for about, and it opens. It's one of those keychain pill containers that you can, I actually have Advil in it. I don't know if you can see. But this was actually my dad's. So if I was doing this psychometry session with you as a psychic strengthening experiment, you would hold this in your hands and you would write down, does this feel like a male energy or a female energy? Did the person feel like they passed? Do they feel like they're still alive? You get the idea. Metal objects work the best because metal tends to hold on to energies. That is your homework for this week, okay? Just a refresher before I forget, I will be in New Orleans next week. I leave Sunday, so anyone in New Orleans, try to hit me up. I will be off of Canal Street. So, yeah, I'll be doing Facebook Live and letting you see where we're at. So it should be fun and exciting. So let's get started with the reading, shall we? Hi, Linnell and Jen and Tori and Deborah and Carrie. And let's get started to the readings. Isn't that why we're here? Hot damn. Can I say that? I'm so glad you all are here. I feel like we're all just best friends getting together, and I just love this. So, little bit of learning, a little bit of fun, a little bit of card readings. I can't drink because I'm a diabetic, but you guys can certainly have a glass of wine, and it's just like getting together with the girls and the guys and just great friends. A great Thursday night. So, okay, I'm going to go back to the top like I always do. Anybody who's new, please identify yourself as being new. And I don't say that to kind of make you feel awkward, but it helps me out so I can zero in on you because I do like to kind of reach out to our newbies first. Hi, Penny and Carrie. Yolanda, hello. April Ann, hello, hello. Going back to the top. Carrie Ann, April, Angel. Deborah Stevenson, you wish you were in Pennsylvania. Why? Where are you, Deborah? Jen Graham. Sally Cordova, hello, hello. Okay, let's see. Pinky, hello. Arcatha, am I saying that right? Arcatha Rhodes Huff, hello, thank you for joining. All right, here we go. I'm just going to pull since no one's identifying themselves as being new. Arcatha Rhodes Huff, you just joined, so I'm going to pull you. I'm going to start with angel cards with you because I feel led to do an angel card with you. So in case if you haven't been in because your name looks new to me, what I'm going to do is pull a card. And in this case, I pulled listening. This is you talking to your angels. But I also feel like your grandma, mother's mother, is very much around you. So for Arcatha, and I'm going to go back, all you need to do is just say yes or no at the bottom. All I need is a yes or a no because I need validation, some sort of information. I don't need details. A true medium doesn't want details, but I do need some form of validation. So for Arcatha, if you could just validate for me, did your mother's mother pass? That would be your grandmother because she's with you right here. She's listening to you. Arcatha, if you could just validate for me, did your mother's mother pass? Because I feel like, hi Chrissy, hi Eddie. This is for Arcatha. If you could please just respond. Grandmom, mother's mother, she's with you 24/7, watching over you. Here you are. Here she is. Here you are. Here she is. I'm not used to looking at this backwards, by the way, but I have a good heart. So Arcatha isn't responding, so I'm going to keep moving. We got a lot of people. So, and Jen Graham. So not a problem. What I do is, Jen, you're next. Jen Graham, you said this is all new to you, so here we go. What I do is I pull a card. Here's the card, Divine Timing. So for Jen Graham, this is all new to you. What this is about is I feel like divine timing. I feel like things are happening fast and furious for you, but I also feel like what's happening is, I don't know why, but I'm being led to believe that you're moving soon. So for Jen Graham, Jenn, are you moving soon? Are you planning on moving? This is for Jen Graham, divine timing, because I feel like you're looking in different directions, but I feel like the angels are also saying here, not there, meaning you're going to stay here where you are locally. So wherever you're at, Jen Graham, I feel like you're going to go like a 20-mile radius out, if even, closer in. So for Jen Graham, going to go back to the top. You guys know me. You know how this goes. Here we go. Back up. Hi, Penny Jackson. How are you? Claritza, thank you for saying have a safe trip. I'm really excited. I'm very, very excited. And of course, for those of you that don't know, Cooper's coming with me, and my daughter's coming with me this time around. So it'll be exciting. It'll be a really exciting trip. Scrolling down, Lauren McMillan Dawson, you're new. Lauren McMillan Dawson. I'm being led to pull tarot for you. So let's see what the tarot has to say for you. By the way, this is kind of funny. When I went to Arizona, I was always told it's called tarot. And they were like, tarot. And I'm like, what? What are you saying? And they were like, it's tarot. And I'm like, oh, okay. So for Lauren McMillan Dawson, I pulled for you the Seven of Wands. Wands are all about entrepreneurship. It's also about building, putting things together, finishing projects. So for Lauren McMillan Dawson, I feel like things are coming together for you, but you're also coming to the ending of a cycle. Things that you're finishing up, coming to fruition. Things that you're coming to an ending, but I feel like a new cycle will be beginning for you soon. See how this guy, I always want to make sure my pens are down. See how this guy has all his things in order? They're all in place except this last one. I feel like once you get this last thing done, your project is done, but I feel like there's going to be lots of accolades with you at work. So for Laura McMillan Dawson, if you could just validate for me, did you have like a really big thing going on at work, a big project that now it's like you can finally breathe, this is over? This is finally over. Because I just feel like I can breathe. Whereas before it's like I feel like I couldn't breathe when I was pulling that card. So Lauren McMillan Dawson, if you could just validate that for us, that'd be great. Hi, Christine Sapoli, how are you? Shelly Williams, you're new. Fantastic. We always love new girls. Can I say girls? No. Women, ladies. I'm always about supporting new people. So, Shelly Williams. This one goes out to Shelly Williams. Shelly Williams. This is for you. This is an angel card. Because Shelly, as soon as I say this, I almost want to cry. But before I even pull my card, I want to say your grandfather, father's father, 2 generations back. So let's talk about that. Sorry, you all know I lost my father in February, so I'm trying not to cry. Shelly Williams, this is you. Your father's father, so your grandfather's with you. But not only is he with you, I want to go back 2 generations past him, okay? Do you know your lineage? This is Shelly Williams. I'm talking to you. So if you could just respond at the bottom, if you know your lineage, if you know your extract, if you know where you're from. For example, I know I'm Finnish, and I thought I was Russian until I did the 23andMe DNA test kit, and there's no Russian in my family. Surprise! So do you know your extract? Because I feel like your father's father, your grandfather, is with you. He's watching over you 24/7, and I just want to give you a big bear hug from him because I feel like that's what he was known for. But his father's father, so I'm going back to great-grandfather, so your great-great-grandfather is pointing to Ireland. So this is for Shelly. Can you validate? Do you know Irish eyes are smiling? I'm hearing that. I would want to sing that, but yeah, I don't think you guys want to hear me sing. So if you could validate that for me, Shelly, I would really like, you know some, yes, thank you, thank you. That's fantastic. Because I feel like they're saying Irish eyes are smiling. And I do want you to know your grandfather, father's father, is with you all the time, and he was known for his gentleness and his hugs. Something about his hugs, his bear hugs. I don't know why, but he's saying that. Now the card. Study. So for Shelly Williams, are you going back to school? Because I feel like I want to say master's, like master's degree. And I just think that's awesome. I think any woman, any man, any person that goes back to school, I like want to go, I'm not worthy. I mean, shit, I'm going to be 50 in February. So, oh my God, I think anyone that goes back to school is amazing. So Shelly Williams, are you going back to school? Because I'm seeing you're going back to school, girlfriend, and I think that's amazing. And if you do, I think that's amazing. Keep us posted, please. Going back to the top, who else is new? Please identify yourself so we can kind of say hello to you and welcome you. Rebecca Roberts, you're new. Will you and your ex get back together soon, and when? Well, that calls for tarot. Just saying, that calls for tarot, because angel cards aren't going to help you with that one. So this is for Rebecca Roberts. Thank you for joining us. And I'm shuffling the tarot right now. And what I get with that, oh my gosh, same card. 7 of Wands. Interestingly enough, this is all about projects being finished, objects being completed. So this is for Rebecca Roberts. You're asking specifically if you and your ex will get back together soon. I don't know, because I feel like with this card, you guys are both going in different directions. I feel like work, you're a hard worker, he's a hard worker, but I feel like work is kind of keeping you separate because you both are just working so hard. Almost like I want to say work is keeping you separate. And I'm smiling because it's almost like if you guys could kind of get on the same page with your schedules, I think that might help. If you could just validate that, that would help. And in terms of when, I don't know. And I'm going to tell you why I'm saying that. When you look at this card very carefully, there's nothing here to give me any indication of when, except when you look at these wands, what do you see? You see leaves on them, which indicates springtime. Past that, I would have to say, if there's a possibility of you guys getting together, you'd have to get on the same page because I feel like work really separates you. But I do feel like there is a possibility in the spring of 2020. But I do feel like work does kind of keep you separate. So Rebecca Roberts, if you could just validate, is work kind of in the way? Isn't there a song called Work in the Way? But yeah, I do think work kind of keeps you guys, separate. Oh, Shelly Williams said, no, not right now, to my question about studying. But you're in the Air Force, because your son, about the Air Force, your son just joined. Kudos to him. Way cool. Kudos to him. This is a salute. Kudos to him. Amazing. I love anyone who joins the services. It's fantastic. Maximum respect. So, Carrie Ann Murphy, thank you. What a great saying. She said, welcome new souls. I think that's just amazing. I think once we as a society stop looking at people for the physical and what we see, but we start looking at people for their souls, I think we'll see so much more. I agree with you, Carrie, on that. Going back to the top, who else is new? Linnell Campbell. Linnell Campbell, you're jumping out at me. I have to ask you, Linnell, as soon as I say your name, you all know I'm a nurse. I'm not a doctor. I'm caveating that. Linnell, as soon as I say your name, it's like I can't breathe. You take my breath away. You're a beautiful soul. Do you have asthma? So for Linnell Campbell, I have my angel cards. I will throw an angel card for you, but I have to ask you, Linnell Campbell, do you have asthma? Or are you getting over a respiratory infection? Because I feel like as soon as I say your name, Linnell Campbell, I can't breathe. Divine timing. So for Linnell, I feel like the angels are saying whatever it is you're asking for, whatever it is you're praying for, it's going to come, but it's going to come in divine timing. Now I'm going to tell you something else. We as women, Linnell, we change our hats so many times. You know this. We cook, we clean, we hold down jobs, we keep the kids in line. We make sure they go to school, and when they're done school, they go to college. You understand what I'm saying? Now, aside from that, we also have to kind of keep our stuff together too, take care of our health. But I'm also seeing this, and the angels are also telling me to tell you, don't get discouraged when a door closes. It's for your protection. But I'm also going to tell you, woman to woman, when a door closes, look around. I would turn my computer around, but I can't do it. There's a window right behind me. So here's something else. When a door closes, don't get discouraged. Remember, there's glass ceilings we can shatter, and there's windows we can shatter. So don't let it discourage you. If a door closes on you, always remember there's a window we can go for. Okay, Linnell? So whatever's going on, the angels just want me to encourage you that it's not always an ending, but it could be a new beginning, because there's always other ways to get to whatever it is you're searching for. Does that make sense? And I want to encourage all of us that there's always, and I hate to use the expression 2 ways to skin a cat, but it's the only expression that's coming to my mind, you know, because we do get discouraged when we want something so bad and it doesn't happen. Always remember that when the door closes, my dad used to always tell me, and my dad is fantastic, he had the best sayings. He used to say, hey, Kimba, when the door closes, smash that window, shatter the glass ceiling. There's other ways of getting out of the room. And he's so true, so true. So Linnell, no respiratory things. Okay, I just thought I'd ask because as soon as I said your name, it's like I could feel something in my chest. Sonny Reen, and I apologize if I'm not saying that correctly. Sonny Reen, I'm going to throw tarot for you because I feel led for tarot. I'm shuffling again because a lot of times everyone who's been on with me these few weeks has discovered certain cards just keep coming up again and again and again. And I always say, hey, it's the angel's way of telling us something, synchronicity. So this is for Sonny Reen, R-E-E-N. This is the Page of Cups. I love the Page of Cups, and I'll tell you why. Because Sonny, you're about to get a surprise. How do I know this? Here's the page. Page of Cups are all about emotions, feelings, thoughts. I tend to think this is something about a declaration of love that's coming to you, and it's going to kind of like sideswipe you, kind of unannounced, where you don't expect it. How do I know that? Look at the cup. Here's the cup, and if you look really carefully, popping out of the cup is a fish. You totally don't expect that. Not a bad thing. Most people are like, a fish popping out of a cup. What it means is there's going to be an announcement, a declaration of love, a declaration of someone having feelings for you that you totally didn't expect or see coming. And I love stuff like this because I love love. So this is for Sonny Reen. This is coming your way. And if you already are in a relationship, Sonny, I think this is going to strengthen your relationship. So Sonny, if you could just validate for us, I'm scrolling down to the bottom. If you're in a relationship, I think this is going to become stronger. Because I feel like you already know this person, but it's going to kind of, again, sideswipe you where you're like, oh, I didn't see that coming. But it's a pleasant surprise. Let me see, going back up again, because you know me, I go up and down, I go up and down. Because I try to hit everyone. I try to hit people I know, and I try to hit our new people, because I only think that's fair. Going back up to the top, I just saw someone that looked new to me. Hi, Zoe, how are you? San Juana Gonzalez. Your name looks not familiar to me, so hello. And I want to pull a card for you if you're agreeable. This is for San Juana Gonzalez. I'd like to pull a tarot for you if you're agreeable. San Juana, before I even pull tarot, this is for San Juana Gonzalez. I want to almost say, and this is going to sound weird, so bear with me. Take Kyoto Taco Bell, and this is about a dog. So I have to ask you, San Juana Gonzalez, do you have a dog currently? San Juana Gonzalez, and I'm going to scroll down the bottom to see if you answer. Because I feel like your dog is asking for food, like fast food. And is this something that you do? Because I have to say, I take my Cooper, my dog, to Wendy's because Eddie got me kind of hooked on taking him to Wendy's because they have real beef burgers. So this is for you. Do you take your dog to like fast food? It's cool because your dog is saying that. And again, you saw me shuffle the cards. Page of Cups. This is for San Juana Gonzalez. This is for you. Declaration of love. Surprise announcement. Someone's going to kind of come out of the blue and be like, hey, I'm really into you. I like you. So if you could validate this for us, I think this is coming your way. It's a surprise announcement. It's someone who you don't really see coming, or someone that you already know that you're kind of in a relationship with. It could be more like a friendship thing that you think it is, but this person has different feelings and they're going to let you know soon. I would say probably it's the full moon tonight, so I would say probably by the end of this month, because today's the 15th. So I'd be very surprised if they don't let you know by the 30th of this month. So San Juana Gonzalez, if you could just validate that for us. Hi, Arlene. How are you? Thank you for joining. And let's see. April Flores. Hello. April Flores Lujan. Did I say that correctly? Of course. You are new. So I do want to address that, of course. I'm going to start with an angel card. And I want to, thank you. I'm saying thank you. And I want to go like this, just to kind of, just to show you that this is just my wall, you know, and I'm saying thank you to my angels because this is for April Flores Lujan. Your grandmother is like pulling her and your aunt. It's like they're coming through so fast, but it's almost like your aunt is talking, but your grandmom's with her. Mother's side. So April Flores Lujan, if you could validate that for me, it's like they're coming through and they're going like this, like they're making bread. But the grandmom's hands are rheumatoid arthritis is the best way I could describe it. So if you're familiar with rheumatoid arthritis, it's where the knuckles, the fingers go off to the side, okay? But they're making like a type of bread and they're flipping it back and forth. So if you could validate that for us, because they're coming through so strong. They're singing a song. I cannot validate it for you. It's in another language. April Flores Lujan, if you could just validate that. Yes, thank you. Grandmom and aunt, mother's side, both send their love. I'd be a shitty-ass medium if I didn't address that. And you all know me. Angel messages come first before cards. Always will, always have. With me. Different mediums are different, but this is for April Flores Lujan. Trust. This is an angel card. This is all about sometimes letting your guard down. And we all, in today's day and age, it's hard to trust people. It truly is. I have trouble with it too. I mean, I get so many friend requests that sometimes I kind of have to look on people's profile walls to be like, and some people I look on their walls and I'm like, oh no, I can't be their friend because they just have some racy stuff on their walls. And then there are other people I'm like, oh yeah, we can be great friends. So April Flores, my point being is it's okay to trust. I think that at times you might want to hold people at a distance, and it's okay. It's okay to kind of observe people. It's okay to kind of trust because I love what I do. The angels are only veiling me. And what I mean by that is they're basically showing me a part of your childhood that goes back to almost like when you were between 8 and 12, and they're shutting down, and they're saying whatever happened during that time, broke your trust with people. It like destroyed you, as many events in our childhood did. Childhood in our lives set the stage for us as adults. It's that simple. I know that as a nurse. My childhood set the stage for me as an adult, which then I made choices. I married a guy that wasn't the right guy for me. He's a great guy, but he wasn't the right guy for me. And it was because of my childhood. I get it. So my point being is it's okay to trust people. Fall back on your angels, April Flores, your beautiful soul, and let trust fall through for you. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay. Rose Amiable Levy, hello, how are you? Rheumatoid arthritis runs in your family. April said that. Thank you. Thank you for that validation. Sheila Geltris, I apologize with names. You should have seen me like when I was prepping people for the operating room. Oh, that was really bad, having to like say someone's name, but people are always so kind. So Sheila Geltris, new, welcome, welcome, welcome. Will your hubby get the job he applied for, and when will he know approximately? I feel like I'm being led, almost like he's had one interview already, correct? And just say yes or no down at the bottom. I feel like he's had one interview, but I feel like there's 2 more interviews that he's going to go through before he finally gets the job. Jobs nowadays suck. You know, back in the day, I mean, like I said, I'll be 50 in February. Back in the day, it was like a one-time thing. We had one interview and that was it. But I feel like Sheila, he's going to go through 2 more interviews. And I'm not sure why I'm saying that. But I do feel like he's going to get it. But I feel like it's going to be just before the holidays, around Thanksgiving, like between Thanksgiving and Christmas, he's going to hear. Here's the catch. The catch is I feel like he's going to hear he got the job, but I feel like he's not going to start until the new year. Does that make sense? I hope I'm wrong, because I would like for him to start sooner. We all need to work. I get it. But I feel like the company is going to do this strategically, because most companies have their fiscal year end by December. Does that make sense? So I think they're going to hire him, but they're going to do it so he starts in January of 2020. I hope I'm wrong for his sake, but I think you will get it. So a card. This is for you. Sheila, King of Wands. This is your hubby. He is a laid-back, cool cat. And I love that, because when I say he's a cool cat, let me explain to you why I say that. What I love about tarot is it's really not hard to learn to read, and I'll show you. When you look at the card, here's the king. He's cool, he's collected, he's easygoing. Look at the back. You can see the lions. He's easygoing. This also tells me he's either a Leo or he could be a Virgo, but I tend to think he's probably a Leo. Here's the cat, which means he's cool, he's collected, he's precise, he's punctual, he's methodical, but he's also artsy. He could be on the musical side, so let me know if I'm on the right track. But I do think he will get it, Rose. I do. I'm sorry, I said the wrong name. I apologize. But I do think he will get it. I will pray, and I'll say a novena. And if you DM me, direct message me your name, and just refresh my memory in a DM that your husband's getting a job, I will look up a novena for you. Because as nurses, we have tons of novenas. And I will find the novena about a new job and send it to you, because I think that's important. Okay, who else do we have here? Marianne McGuire, hello, hello, how are you? Marianne. I want to throw tarot for you. This keeps coming up. You guys saw me just throw my cards down. I just shuffled them. Here we go again. You guys should know this by now. This is the 7 of Wands. Wands are all about entrepreneurship, finishing up of a project. This is for Marianne McGuire. This is all about entrepreneurship, finishing up a project at work. This is all about springtime. This could be starting a new business. This is about everything is in place. See how everything is in place? But the one last project needs to be put together. Things are going well for you, but I also feel like it's one last hurrah. And I'm going to shuffle these cards again. You guys have seen me shuffling these cards. Marianne McGuire, I do want to ask you, while I'm shuffling, I want to go like this and take off my glasses because I want to ask you, Marianne, are you having headaches? Not here, here, in the front. And I ask that for a specific reason. So this is for Marianne McGuire. Are you having what we call frontal headaches? Here, not in the back, here. For Marianne McGuire. I'm just scrolling down to see if you're responding. There's a reason why I'm asking that. So Marianne McGuire, if you could just kindly answer. Hi, Brooke. How are you? So glad you could join. Brooke is from Florida. So Brooke is amazing, and she's a college student. So I apologize. I think I told you guys when I was in Arizona, I thought I was being cool, and I was kind of standing on these rocks. And I was like, take a picture of me, and I fell on my bum, and I'm still trying to heal. So hi, Missy Nichols. How are you? How are you? Let's see. I'm just looking to see if she responded. Hi, Paul. Thank you for joining. Hi, Diana. And she said yes. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you for responding. Okay. So let's see. Paul Card, you just joined. You're new, and you're a guy. So we don't get many guys who join. So I'm going to welcome first and foremost. I'm going to pull a card for you. But first and foremost, I want to say to you, Paul, is your father living? And I ask that. You can just say yes or no at the bottom. This is for Paul Card. I feel like, and I'm asking because you're new to me, and I'll just fill you in while I'm waiting for you to answer. As a medium, we can connect with those that have passed on, but we can also connect with those that are on this earthly plane of one of four ways. If they're a drug addict or alcoholic, because obviously the drugs or alcohol alter the brain. So as we say it, they have their mind in the earthly plane, but also in the spirit world, literally the spirit world. Spirits, get it. If they're in a coma, I've been called many times to go visit patients who are in a coma because their body is here on the earthly plane, but their mind is partly in the spirit world. If they're terminal, a lot of time, as you all know, I do hospice, so I get a lot of calls to visit hospice patients because the body is still here, but the mind is starting to, what we call figuratively, separate, because it's preparing to what we call transfer or crossover to the spiritual realm. So I love what I do because I help people make that transition. So if they're terminal and or if they have dementia or Alzheimer's, that would be the fourth reason. Because obviously a person with dementia or Alzheimer's, if they have that, their mind, their body's here, but their mind is obviously tragically confused. So Paul Card, no. So no meaning your father is alive or your father is dead. I'm not sure. So I apologize. I'm not clear by what you mean by no. So for Paul Card, while I'm waiting, I'm going to pull an angel card for you. You guys keep seeing me shuffle these cards. This is trust. Trust is all about what we do when we meet fellow people. It's basically letting down our guard and trusting in our fellow humans. Sometimes I feel like with this card, Paul, you can pretty much size a person up in a heartbeat. Not a bad thing. We all need to be a little intuitive when we meet people, but this also, I'm being told, has to fall back on your own relationship with your angels, but your own intuitive abilities. When we have relationships with our angels, it's about communication, but it's also about falling back on our own intuitive abilities. I don't, and I can't do what I do on my own. Without my angels intervening and giving me the information and what I call pinging off of my symbolic cell phone tower, I can't get the information. Angels are a perfect source. They're a perfect being. So they have to kind of dumb down symbolism for me so I can get the messages to relay it to other people. So with trust, this is for Paul. My point being, fall back on your angels and trust more your intuition, because I feel like you're very intuitive. I'm not sure what you're doing, but I feel like I'm being led. I'm being given, so to speak, the insight that you're in the medical field. I'm not sure what you do, and I'm going to caveat that because I don't bullshit people, but I feel like it's something in the medical field, and I'm being led to believe that your father would be so proud of you, because I feel like whatever it is you do, your father passed before he could see you complete it. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm rambling, but I feel like the best way I could describe it would be almost like a person who was going to nursing school and before they graduated, their parent passed, if that makes any sense. But I'm being led to tell you your father's so proud of you, Paul. And unfortunately, we don't often tell each other on this earthly plane how proud we are of each other until after the fact that we've crossed over. So with love from me to you, I do want you to know your father is so incredibly proud of you. And please fall back on your angels. Develop a relationship with them. And how you can do that is call out to your dad and say, hey, I need help. Help me develop my intuitive abilities. Talk to him as if he was here every day, because he is. He's just in a different form. And you'll start to notice synchronicities, numbers. You might be thinking about your dad, and all of a sudden someone calls you up and says, hey, remember when your dad did this? That's validation. That's synchronicity. So my best to you, Paul. And I just want you to know he's so proud of you. So proud of you. Okay. Missy Bender asks, when loved ones passed away, are they always around us? Oh, you're welcome, Paul. Are loved ones always around us? Yes. I believe it would be no different than our family today on this earthly plane. So, for example, I'll use myself because I think it's the easiest, and I'm pretty transparent. My kids, for example, are over my ex's house this evening. So if they were angels, maybe my grandmom's checking in on me right now, and my kids are somewhere else. So angels do the same thing. They're not with us all 24/7 because angels have a different hierarchy. So, for example, the Archangel Michael is known for protection. He steps in when, God forbid, something's going to happen to us tragically, and his job is to protect us. But I do believe, yes, when we call upon our family that have passed on, every morning, I don't know if I told you guys this, when I open the windows in my great room, my curtains, I say, how's heaven today, Dad? It's hard, but I do. I do believe when you call upon them and talk to them or talk them up, I do believe they come around. But I do believe they kind of interchange. So I believe when my dad's not checking in on me, I believe my grandmom's checking in on me. And when my grandmom's not checking in on me, God only knows, Gabriel's checking in on me and helping me with communication. especially like when my girlfriend says, how does my hair look? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just kidding. But you kind of get the idea. So to answer your question, Missy, I do think that loved ones check in on us, but they kind of tag team each other, if that makes any sense. So because they're also checking in on the rest of the family that's left behind here on this earthly plane. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Jen Graham, you've been trying for 6 years to have your son come through. I believe your son is with you all the time. And I almost want to go something like this with my ears. And I believe it's something your son would do. This is for Jen Graham. I feel like I have to take off my glasses because I know they'll just go flying. This is for Jen Graham. I feel like your son would do something like this with his ears. And I believe he's with you all the time. Sometimes in order to hear our angels or to feel them, we need to quiet our mind. And what I mean by that is there's so much going on during the day. My cat is howling in the next room. I don't know if you can hear Zeus. Cooper keeps running in and out of this room. I don't know if you noticed the door keeps opening and closing. I have Alexa on downstairs playing Michael Bublé. So there's so much extrasensory stimuli going on that I think what happens is the angels can't always get our attention. So sometimes what I want you to do, Jen, is first thing in the morning when you wake up, find a quiet spot. And I want you to have coffee or tea with you and just be. I know that sounds really weird because we're so used to, as people, getting up and going. Oh, here's Zeus. Come here, baby. This is Zeusy. This is my beautiful ragdoll. He doesn't give a shit about what anyone thinks. I could yell at him. He doesn't care. So we all need to be more like Zeus. But what I was saying was learn to just be. So have your coffee, close your eyes, and tell your son you want to feel him. And you'll be surprised if you can train your mind just to be quiet. The memories will come back. The scent, you might even smell him. It'll take a while. And when you find, Jen, that your mind starts thinking of things you have to do for the day, remember the red balloon I told you. Take that thought, put it in a red balloon, and envision it going up to the sky. And go back to just being and focus on your son and ask him, come visit me. And keep doing this. And each time your mind thinks of, oh, I got to do this today, envision that, whatever that thought was, put it in a red balloon, envision the red balloon going up to the sky, go back to your son. That's how you retrain your mind. And I guarantee you, Jen, once you kind of retrain yourself to just be, which is a state of kind of like nothingness, it's where we train our minds to just not do anything. I guarantee you, you'll start to feel them. Because I think what's happening, and this is just my perception, I'm just a humble observer. I'm not right, I'm not wrong. I think sometimes when we try so hard, we kind of miss the chance to connect because there's so much going on, if that makes any sense. So I hope that helps. Give it a whirl, give it a try, practice, 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 because it is hard to quiet the mind. Let me know how that works. Try also on YouTube. There's a couple of videos on just how to meditate, 10-minute videos. Try working with that and let me know how that works out. That's for Jen Graham. Let's see. Kelly Manson, how are you? Welcome, welcome. I'm going to shuffle these cards because for Kelly Manson, okay, so we've got 10 minutes. So for Kelly Manson, I feel led, I'm shuffling, so I apologize for the noise. And I've got these two little rugrats, these two little fur angels swarming. I've got Zeus at my feet, and I've got Cooper over here. right behind me. Talk about distraction. But I'm blessed. I can't complain. So I want to go back to Kelly Manson. Kelly, I feel as though I have a woman with me. And when I say a woman, I'm referring to in spirit, as what we say in the mediumship world. I feel like I have a woman with me. She's like a sister, but she's not a sister biologically. She, I have to like take my glasses off because it's like she was someone like a sister, not a sister biologically. I want to say stage 4 breast cancer, died too young. I'm angry because it's like it shouldn't have happened. She shouldn't have died this young. And I feel like she wants to say she's with you all the time. So for Kelly Manson, if you know of this soul, this angel, she wants to be acknowledged. And she's referencing 30 to 34 years of age is when she passed. And by the time she was diagnosed, it was like stage 4. It was like, wow. Like there was no warning, no warning. So for Kelly Manson, if you could just validate that for me, that would be great. Yes or no. And you know what? If you don't know this person, it's okay. Because I know sometimes when I read people, I'll ask a question like, hey, I have a woman here, stage 4 breast cancer. She crossed over roughly, 30 to 34. She said she's like a sister, but not biological. Blonde, natural blonde, but bleached her hair. You might be racing to try to have an answer right here. It's okay. If you can't think of her right now, this very moment, peace be with you. I guarantee you, in a day or two, you'll be like, snap, I know who this is. Because I know sometimes it's hard when you're put on the spot. So Kelly Manson, answered prayer. I feel like, this is for Kelly Manson, I feel like whatever it is you've been at, oh, Kelly, thank you. You said yes, you know her. I'm going like this because I feel like I just want to thank for a quick second and just stop and thank my angels because I feel like I haven't been doing that enough tonight. And I don't want my ego to get away from me. And I want to just thank them for a quick second. Yes, thank you. This is for Kelly Manson, answered prayer. I do want you to know the angels are saying whatever's on your heart, whatever you've been praying for, because they're showing me fervent prayer. Fervent meaning repetitive. It's the same prayer you've been asking for daily. It will be answered, but they're saying in divine timing. So be patient. Know that it's coming. Abundant blessings, but it's going to be in the angels' timing. And I want you to know, don't give up hope. And I say fervent because a lot of times we ask for things and then it's kind of like, okay, and then we kind of forget about, but the angels are clearly saying this is like a repetitive prayer you're asking for. And they want you to know it will be answered. So I love that. I just love that. Hi, Amber. How are you? Thank you for joining. Thank you. Thank you. Going back up. You guys know me. I go up and down the line because I just think that's important. I don't like to stay in one area of, who did I see? I'm going to mess up this name, so I'm apologizing in advance. Our Scottish friend, Eladec? Am I saying that right? Eladec McLeod? Reading your first time. And you're saying you're from Scotland? Did I see that? Well, of course, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Elade? I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. McLeod. So for you, I want to say back. I want to go 2-3 generations. So I see that you're from Scotland. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But I want to go 2-3 generations back. Great-grandfather, father's side. And they're saying not from Scotland, like they're saying Norway to the left. So I'm jogging my memory because I can't go on my computer. What's to the left of Norway? So for Elade McLeod, and I apologize if I'm saying your name wrong. I'm so sorry. To the left of Norway, they're saying 3 generations back. That is part of your extract, not completely. Scottish Gaelic, okay. I want you to know father's side comes from to the left of Norway. 2-3 generations back, great-great-grandfather. But I'm also seeing hunters run in your family, and I love that. I don't always see that with people when I read them. My father was a hunter, and I love it when I see hunters that run in families because they eat what they kill, you know, and I don't have a problem with that. I mean, some people don't like it. Hey, I'm a nurse, so I've been told a lot of things by my patients, and no judgment here. But I think, you know, if you didn't know this, Mr. McLeod, and I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, I want you to know your family has a strong history of hunting, and I find that amazing. I also want you to know the Archangel Uriel is very strong with you directly. Uriel. Uriel is known for wisdom and intellect. So, I want you to know that. I'm going to throw a tarot card for you. Oh, 2 of Pentacles. Now, as we all know, I'm going to dispel a little, I don't know what you want to call it, but Pentacles are not about witchcraft. Pentacles in the tarot deck are all about money. They're all about finances. They're all about investments. So this tells me, Elide McLeod, this is all about your finances. They're up, they're down, they're up, they're down. This could be about investments too. It's not necessarily finances that are in the bank. This could be about investments. You know, the stock markets have been kind of up and down too. So this is about things that have been up and down, shaky, imbalanced. So I think, you know, just keep a handle on things. And, you know, I'm not a finance guy, but I would say, I like to pretend like I'm one. I would say don't put all your eggs in one basket. So, but welcome, and thank you so much for joining us. Balancing. Missy Bender said it perfectly. Balancing. I agree. Oh, you did. Elide, I'm sorry if I'm not saying your name right. True. So I'm glad you heard that validation. Thank you. McLeod. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for correcting me. McLeod. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm so bad at names. But that's awesome. That's so awesome. Going back up, I'm going to do one last one for the night, and then I'm going to leave you with our thoughts. Let's see. Where did I see? I'm going to go back up. I have to use Amber Roush. Welcome. I'm going to pull a tarot card for you. Your name jumped out at me. So for you, I have the 3 of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles, this is in reference to who you're seeing. This is for Amber Roush. So if you could validate for us who you're seeing. No names, please. No names. That's personal. But I do want to say that who you're seeing has to do with building things, being with their hands, heating, could be electrician, could be someone who is handy around the house. Electrical work could be someone HVAC. This is what he's doing. But I also feel like he's a teacher. Why do I say that? Well, let's look at the card. Here he is standing on a bench, and as he's standing on a bench, there's people below him. Not that he's above them, but he's teaching them, almost like an apprenticeship where he's showing them the ropes. Not a bad thing. So for Amber Roush, if you could just validate that for us, that would be wonderful. But this is the guy that you're seeing. I think he does well, and I think if you just kind of give it time, you guys will kind of, might kind of go in the right direction in terms of a relationship. I don't see a relationship right now, but I do see what he does. In the meantime, our night is coming to a close. I do want you to think about what we talked about, psychometry, where you take an object with a partner and you try to guess what the object belongs to, who it belongs to, okay? I want you to do that. DM me if you have any questions. How is it working for you? Give me some feedback. If anyone that I've read tonight, if you thought I did really good, mediocre, or you were indifferent, please give me a review. When I do people and I read them, like literally they sign up for readings, I refer them to my reviews because I think that's really important. Mediums are like shoes. They should fit you and be a perfect fit. And there have been people that I've turned away because I felt like we weren't a good fit. So if I read you tonight, throw me a review. In the meantime, do something kind for your fellow human between now and next week, okay? And I will be in New Orleans next week, so I will certainly do some quick, short, live Facebook things then. So in the meantime, love and light to you, and thanks for your patience. Have a very good night. Bye.